Good morning. Today is the 25th of October 2023 and I'm going to recap my trade plan for today. On my screen, and before we start, let's look at any market moving news. So today, high importance. Okay, that's interesting. So we've got Fed Powell speaking later. Market may want to wait for him. That's after market today. But maybe we might see a bit of a slow market leading up to that. 7 o'clock, nothing major today. We've got some oil news at 10:30. We've got home sales news 10 a.m. So something to keep an eye on. That gives it 2 out of 3 on the importance scale, so it could move the market a bit. And we've got Fed Powell today after market, so potentially we might have a slow market today. So back to my screen with the ES or the MES chart. This is the 1 hour time frame and it's the micro E-mini S&P 100 futures. So levels are really the same as what we looked at yesterday. I took my only trade yesterday was this one, a rejection of that area. We touched it again. Sorry, that was the day before. Yesterday I got back in on the same trade, the same area. And you know, we've already hit it twice already, or 3 times if you include that area there. So potentially I'm watching a similar area, but just be a bit wary that we've already been there twice. But it's interesting that 42.80 is an area which is just not giving up. You know, there seems to be a big area of resistance there. We tried it once, twice, 3 times. We did poke through it in the post market. We did poke through it yesterday, and we instantly rejected it again. So it looks like it's going to be a tough area to crack. So I'm going to be watching 42.80 for a rejection, and I'll be waiting for confirmation on that trade as well. If we can break 42, 42.50, 42.43, I'm potentially looking for a break and retest. And the reason for that is, let's go into the 4 hour chart. And you can probably see the pattern I'm looking at. We've got this, go back into pen, we've got this big move down and we're potentially putting in a bit of a bear flag. And if let's just draw this in. There we go, and I'm going to clone it. So on trading view to clone, press and hold the control button down and drag the icon. So we clone it, we've got the clone there. So we've broken the structure already today. So that area, the lower of this lower channel. So potentially waiting for a break and retest, and that'll confirm this flag area. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. And as for a target, we could target the low of the day from Friday. And we're into an area of demand as well, so we want to keep an eye on this area for a potential bounce. And that leads me to my next trade. So that's my second trade I'm watching for, and my next trade will be a bounce off of this area. So if I do go short, then I might be looking to reverse a trade. And that's it really. So in fact, if I like the 4 hour, let's keep that on here for a minute. So to recap the 4 hour, I quite like 42.80 for a rejection, and potentially 42.90 as a secondary rejection area. And I will be looking for a break and retest of this level, which is 42, 42.50, so 42, 43, that entire area. And then if we do see a bit of a sell-off and we break this flag structure, then I'm looking for a bounce at 42.17. And until we get into that area, I'll wait, and again with confirmation. And I think that's all I'm watching for. We've got some higher probability trades up here as well, so potentially if we see, again, I don't think we'll get there today, maybe in a few days, but 43.65 is a potential rejection area, and it's coming off of that lower trend line we discussed yesterday as well. So that's all I'm watching on ES. Very similar to SPY, we can see, and let's use some straight lines. So we can see the structure here, the channel, and then we broke out, potential flag area there. And so I'll be watching 424.75 for a potential rejection. Basically between 424 and 425, this area for a rejection if we get back up there for the move down. Else I'll be watching for a break and retest of this area, 420.60 to 421 area. So 421 is a break and retest short, so I'm looking for it to come down, break, retest, and push back down. And then a bounce again at 417.80. It's probably the area I'll be waiting for a bounce, and that'll be a nice double bottom if we get down. But like I said, we've put in a bear flag and we've broken the structure. So let's draw that in. Okay, so that's that structure there. So I've got the magnet on, so it makes it. Let's clone it. So I'm just drawing up those two last pivots, and you can see we've broken this flag in the pre-market today. So potentially we are looking more bearish today. But again, I'll play the chart, what I see on the chart. So that's the levels for SPY, Qs. How are we looking? Again, we've got a similar structure. We've got the flag pattern putting in. You could also argue in all these cases we're looking at head and shoulders, left shoulder, head potentially, or maybe that's the head. Not a very good right shoulder pattern. It's not a very well defined, but we've got the neckline there potentially, and again that could be an area watch for a break and retest low. So we've got 361 for potential rejection. Funny how yesterday I said we had this level in yesterday, and we actually came up and touched it on the Qs. So again, that's an area we could watch as well, and we got this area here, 360 for potential rejection as well. And then break and retest of this level was discussed in the ES and SPY, and that is 355.61, and we may even see a bit of a bounce off of that area. And then for a higher probability bounce, 351.40, 351.39. Okay, looking at NASDAQ. Again, the bounce down at 14,500, 14,514, higher probability bounce. We got 14,817 as a potential rejection area if we get back up there, but I prefer 14,870 for rejection, and that's an area of confluence as well. Break and retest area, this entire area here, so maybe I could just raise this up a bit. That's probably better. I like that area better as well. So 14,700 to 14,712. And the reason I like it, we've got the tops of these candles here, bottoms of candles, bottoms of candles, bottoms of candles in the pre-market, and potentially looking for a break and retest. And then we've got obviously got the bounces at 14,870. And then finally oil. Look at that, we put that flag in. That's at the daily, and it's definitely broken that. I wouldn't say flag, I meant the upward channel. Let's have a look. So I haven't quite come into the area we've been waiting for. So 80 to 34 is an area watching for potential bounce. Slightly higher volume yesterday as well if you compare it to the previous day. So potentially, and we've got a bit of a bottom tail as well, but not a massive one. But let's look at the hourly. Okay, it looks like we're basing down here now. So we put in a bottom, a nice double tail bottom as well, and we maybe just eating time off the clock before we see a bit of a reversal. Interesting that the two tails touch the 83 level, which is this area of demand. I'm just seeing what could be the best move. I still quite like 82.34 for a potential bounce, and maybe a rejection if we can get back up to this area here. And it's an area of confluence, high volume as well, high concentrate volume. We've got the point of control up here as well. 85.50, 85.49, that area. And we've got bottoms of candles. So we've got tops of this area here, bottoms of this area. We came through, potentially we could come back up, bottoms of these candles as well. So this entire area, 85 through to 85.50. Excuse me. So that's the area I'm watching for potential rejection. Okay, I think that's it really. Again, we're on an uptrend on oil, so it's going to be a scalp play against the main trend as well. What can we just draw a line? I just want to put in a that. So we're coming into this downward channel as well, so we bounce there, bounce there, bounce there. So what could happen next? We could see a bounce back up, or we could see a break back down. So they're the real two outcomes for oil. I would like to think, because we're in an uptrend and it's an upward trailing channel as well, we should see a bit of a bounce. That's what I like to see. So I'll stick with potential along at 84 and a potential target at 84, 85.50, or a against the trend rejection. And that's the only things on oil I can see. So going back to MES, back into the hourly. So to recap MES or the ES, yesterday I got into this lovely rejection there, and it worked out really well, and I'm going to watch that again today. So if we get back up to 42.80, I'm going to be looking for a short. If we break it, I'll be watching 42.90 instead for a short, and that's kind of the top of our supply zone as well. So this entire area is an area in play. Higher probability bounce is down here at 42.18 to 42.20, and we've got some higher risk bounces at 42.42, and that's it really. But what I'm watching for is a break and retest of that area, so that's what I really want to get. And again, that'll be going with the main trend, where we're putting in a series of lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, and then again, I think this is just looking like a bit of a bear flag, and we've broken out through the structure, so the structure is now broken on this flag. So let's zoom in as well. A topping tail as well in the last hour, so showing a bit of weakness here. So we'll see where we get to. So 42, and if you remember, if I zoom back out, if we go back into the daily, we're right at the bottom trend line as well. So we've got this flag pattern, which we've kind of been watching for a bit as well, and we're kind of in this area here, so potentially watching for a breakdown. We poked through once, came back up, we've retested this area a few times as well, and that area is a 42.50 area, and we're going to find out, we're starting to narrow in now what we've got left on this potential pattern. So looking at the overall picture, yeah, I think I'm going to favour a downward move, but I'm going to play the chart as it is. So if we break down through this area, I'll be looking for a break and retest, and I've got a couple of supply zones, demand zones as potential targets as well. So I'm going to stick with my 42, back to the hour again, 42, 42, 42, 43 break and retest. That's what I'm going to be watching for today. So that's the play I'm really waiting for, and obviously this rejection up here as well. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day trading, trade safe, and manage your risk well. Okay, thanks for watching.